Hey there, beautiful people. I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about this because we hear about this a whole lot. Some women are abused and become more hardened to protect themselves mentally and physically. Now, abuse can come in all forms. It can be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. Some black women are loud and abrasive to keep potential danger away. It's like a lion's roar or a bark. We live in a capitalistic society, and it is said that only 25% of black women will get married. So if that's the case, then who is supposed to provide for the other 75%? And even if you do get married, I think a lot of women still work. So we have to take care of ourselves, which means that we have to get jobs or work outside of the home. And if we're mothers, that leads to even more issues, and we get blamed when children don't turn out right, or the girls are fast and the boys are going to jail or too soft, etc. Ironically, we are to be more feminine when we still have to fend for ourselves and our children because of some of the things that I'm going to list here: slavery, Willie Lynch, housing projects, education initiatives, keeping black boys in special education and keeping them behind, the current social engineering that's going on, the gender wars. It all plays a role in the purposeful division of black women and black men, and it leads to the masculinization of black women. This is why we must consciously choose each other and respect, love, and unite with one another, because the world is against our unity and benefits from our disunity. And I said all of that to say that all of these things led to the masculinity of black women, starting with slavery, when they would take the black men out of the home. And we were left to fend for our children, or they would try to make an example out of him if he was a strong-headed man and had goals and dreams and was trying to do whatever he had to free his family. And then you had Willie Lynch, which put us against each other in all types of ways. Then you had the housing projects where men couldn't be in the home, so that left women to fend for themselves. Then you had education initiatives that kept black boys in special education, which leads to them not being able to have good careers or jobs to take care of their family. So it's just an ongoing cycle that leads to where we are today. So a lot of black women are told to get an education to fend for ourselves and take care of ourselves because of the track record of some of our men and some of the conditions of our men. So that's the next best thing. Or it could be because of experiences our mothers had, so they warn us to go and get an education because there won't be anybody else to take care of us. And it's also like a hedge against the mistreatment of black women, is to have something to always fall back on, which is an education. And what's confusing a little bit in this day and time is the eyebrow beating of black women to be soft and feminine, while at the same time you have to work full time. And usually you have to work if you're married or single because of the society that we live in. A lot of people probably don't have to work, but to have a certain type of lifestyle, they probably do. So working in any arena, period, would make any woman masculine. Not being able to tend to your children like you want to makes you angry and hardened. Not being able to have time to take care of yourself makes you hardened and angry. And if you have to work, then work takes away from both of those, and taking care of your spouse and your husband or your loved one. And women, unfortunately, get labeled with being masculine if they're smart, successful, in charge, confident, assertive, if they speak up for themselves, if they're independent, if they're competitive, and if they're logical. And it's a little hard, I know it is, for these younger people, these younger women to navigate, because they're doing what they do and it doesn't look right. It's not feminine. However, that's the environment that they've been brought up in, and it's more of a defense mechanism of which this is about. Now, I'm going to go ahead and venture out and say that even the hypersexual nature that's going on, hypersexuality that's going on today, is masculine. But even that in itself is a defense mechanism, because if we hypersexualize ourselves first, then no one else can do it. So I'm not saying that that's healthy. I'm just saying that that's a result of it. Us being masculine is not something that we choose. No woman wants to be masculine. No woman wants to. I'm not saying we're not going to work. We don't want to work, because a lot of us still have goals and dreams and aspirations. It's just that the way that things are structured and the type of way that work is structured, with us being out of the home for most of the better part of the day, that just psychologically also messes with the femininity of a woman. So those are just some of the things I wanted to touch on when it comes to masculine women. We get blamed and accused of being masculine, but at the same time, we really have no choice. Now, I'm not talking about you just being overtly masculine for no given reason. I'm talking about all of the reasons I listed, of which are extremely legitimate for us to be the way that we are. I'm not making an excuse for it. I am not making an excuse for it. It's an explanation, because there's going to be somebody that says, oh, you're just making an excuse for y'all to be this and y'all to be that and not submissive and all of this and all of that. Well, there's a reason for that. There's a reason that a lot of women seem to not want to be submissive, and that's because of fear. It's a fear of being let down before, from men or just anybody in general, which makes us defensive and makes you masculine. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your questions, comments, and concerns in a respectful way, because just like I am voicing my opinion, I expect it to be respected, and I will respect your opinion. So you all be blessed.